Good morning and welcome to Cindy's Kitchen. So glad that you guys are here this morning. Come on in, pull up a chair or a bar stool. I'm Cindy, and Cindy's Kitchen, obviously my kitchen, is here in Houston, Texas. If you're brand new, never seen us before, we're a cooking community. We just have a good time. We laugh, we chitty chat, we share recipes. And so if you are brand new, make sure you say hello. Tell us where you're from. If you want to get notifications on when we go live, make sure you follow us, become a follower, like the video, and turn on your notifications so that you'll know when we go live. So let's start our good mornings, right? Good morning, Brenda. Good to see you. Joanne, so good to see you. I missed you so much when you weren't getting the notifications. Anissa's here. Lori, hello from Maryland. Good morning, Mom. Charlene is my mom, so there you go. Good morning, Janet. Good to see you. I'm having my coffee. I know, Kimberly. Hello from Tyler. Benji, Enid, Oklahoma. How you doing, my friend? Anne, good morning from in the UK. Beverly from North Carolina, good morning. Oh, East Texas, right? It's Tyler, though, right? I'm pretty sure it was Tyler. It's either Tyler or Grapevine, but I thought it was Tyler. I'm so glad you're here, Brenda. Marilyn, good morning. Oh, Heather's here. Heather, that was such a lovely, happy Tuesday, such a lovely picture. I think you and your daughter, was that what the picture was? It's a lovely picture. Oh, Joanne, thanks for saying hello to my mom. Kimberly, Sulphur Springs. Okay. See, I'm losing my marbles, aren't I? Losing my marbles. Joan's here. Good to see you. Oh, thank you, Lori. I have to share my cup. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? I love that you've got the really pretty red, white, and blue throughout. To me, that's a perfect summer. I mean, I know it may look spring, but hot Southern California. Oh, Anissa, be cool. Find air conditioning. Anyway, so I do love this. I think it's just, I don't know. Again, yes. Well, it was a great picture. One of the things I know I've told you is my favorite thing in the morning is opening the coffee mug cabinet, or the mug cabinet, right? And just staring to see what makes me happy. And that's what, the New Jersey shore. I've never been there, Joan, but I'm sure if you're on a shore somewhere, that's a good thing, right? And I thought the bowl that I would use today, I don't really have a bowl that matches this, but I thought, look at this bowl. Do you see how it has some of the same colors? And so look at the dark blue flowers, how it matches so well with the dark blue flowers, and then the red with the red, and then it has the big white flowers with the white. And so I thought, and it's got all the same colors in it. So I thought that was a nice thing. Even the greens. Can you see the greens in there? And then the greens in here. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So, my mix and match for dishes this morning. I know, I thought it was pretty. So, I hope everybody's having a good day. Happy Tuesday. I kind of wanted to start this morning before we get going on cooking and say, so the other day on Facebook Live, we don't sell anything. I'm not monetized. I don't have any sponsors. Nothing like that. We just have a good time. We really just do. And so we have a little over 2,500 followers here on Cindy's Kitchen. And I was like, do I even know 2,500 people? So I started looking at the names. And, you guys that join every day, I'm like, and there's. But I have to tell you, so many names that I didn't know at all. I'm like, I wish they would say hello. I wish they would tell me where they were from, because I saw their names and I really wanted to know more about them. They've joined in as part of our family, but I felt like, gosh, we should know them. We should talk to them. So if you're a follower and you've never said anything, say hi. Tell us where you're from so we can get to know you as part of the family. Diana, I saw that you were moving to Kentucky. I know, I'm so sad. I saw that in your post about that you had missed. Oh, we love you too. We love you too, and I'm sad that you're moving to Kentucky. But I think you have grandkids or kids or grandkids there, and so I know that that'll be good for you. But we will miss you. Oh, Debbie from hot and humid Chicagoland. Eek. Well, let's get started, shall we? Let's get started. Today we are making, okay, what are the things on Cindy's Kitchen? It has to be quick, it has to be easy, and it has to be yummy. And so I decided to do, we're just doing one dish today. I know, which is an odd thing, right? I always do two, at the very least. Sometimes 3 or 4. But today, just 2. I mean, just one. Just one. And I was hungry for this. So this is why we're going to do it. All right. I've got some water in a big pot, salted water, set to boil. And I'm just going to be using angel hair pasta. Now, if you saw on the description, this is going to be a peanut veg and noodle. I know that sounds weird, veg and noodle. It's National Lazy Day. Oh my gosh, Heather, how hilarious is that? Because today's meal is actually the laziest I could get. I'm really making nothing. Everything was store-bought, and we're just gonna cook it and add it together. Sharon, good morning. All right, so here are my ingredients. Are you ready? This is how easy it is. I have 16 ounces of angel hair pasta. You don't have to use angel hair. You can use whatever you want to. This is what I'm using. I have 16 ounces of frozen veg. Now, this says broccoli, carrots, and water chestnuts. If there is some other blend of veg you like, I almost got the one with the sugar snap peas in it, but I don't know. This one looks better. So we have this. I have a 12-ounce bottle of, this says Bangkok peanut sauce. Doesn't have to be this brand. This is House of Sang. Doesn't have to be this brand. Doesn't have to be anything. And this actually says dipping, but it's a peanut sauce. You can use it to dip, you know, because usually I think of peanut sauce to dip spring rolls, right? Yum. But we're going to use this as our sauce for our pasta. And then I only have 2 other things, and that is some peanuts, just plain old peanuts out of a jar, and some green onions. I really wanted cilantro for this dish. And I know several of you don't like cilantro. I went to the grocery store this morning. This will shock several of you. Good morning, Denise. I went to the grocery store this morning, and I bought everything you saw. But I wanted to get some green onions, and I wanted to get some cilantro, and all my cilantro plants are dead. Like, dead, gone. And I have a few green onions, but this is kind of it. The grocery store hadn't gotten their veg in yet. It was like empty. There were no green onions. There was no cilantro. None. Like, not even little, empty. The bins, they be empty. And I know I probably could have gone to a different grocery store, but I just didn't have it in me. Lazy day, right? Lazy day. All right, so our water's boiling, and I've got my pasta, and I've got my veg here. And we're gonna need a pair of scissors to open everything. This is gonna be the laziest day known to man. But it's easy, and if you can run to the store and get a few things, you're done. Okay, the water's boiling. Let me bring this over here. Ouch, 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 a little warm. Okay, so I've got boiling water here. Well, it stopped boiling as soon as I took it off. But I'm gonna open my pasta, or as some say, pasta, you know, whatever. Thin spaghetti is what I'm using. This is called angel hair, but you know, any kind of thin spaghetti. And quite frankly, you could use whatever you want. I'm gonna use the entire package, all 16 ounces. You don't have to, obviously. I just wanted it to be a little bit more. It was 16 ounces of this, so I'm using 16 ounces of this. Actually, that'll mean there's a lot more noodle than there is veg, but I'm okay with that. You can put it in there just like this. I always break it in half. And it was so funny because, I'll tell you a story. So I've always broken it in half just because easier to eat, right? Just straight in half. And so I think I was out of town and my husband, Dr. Phil, was cooking spaghetti for the girls, right? Okay, I've got that in there. Yeah. And so he's putting the spaghetti in the boiling water and he puts it in whole. And the girls are like, Dad, you're doing it wrong. And he's like, I know how to cook spaghetti, girls. I'm doing it just fine. And the girls are like, no, 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 you're not doing it right. That's not the way Mom does it. So it's so funny. I just think that's hilarious. Now, instead of making a lot of pans and a lot of mess, I'm only going to use that one pan. And so I am going to walk back and forth. I probably could have had you over there, but I don't know. I'm going to use, you can use any kind of tongs. You could use spoons or whatever. But I'm just going to give it a little fluff because I don't want the pasta to stick together. So I'm going to give this just a little toss. There we go. I'm interested to know. There are several people who will, when they get their water to boiling and before or after they put their whatever pasta they're cooking, will add oil. Do you add oil? Now, some say that causes it not to stick together, although I've never seen that it really sticks together. The only time I've ever added oil was like afterwards. So if I take the pasta out and I'm not immediately putting a sauce on it, or if I'm I've made the pasta ahead of time and I'm putting it in the fridge to use the next day, I will add some oil, either canola oil or olive oil or whatever kind of oil, just so that it doesn't clump up, with the starch from it and stick all together, because we don't want that. Before boiling. Okay, so Beverly, you do. Does anyone else do that? It does make a perfect bite, Lori, when you break it in half. It's much better. I know, right? Well, like I said, I did it for a while because people said that. But for me personally, I found there you go, Janet. That's my concern. I have found if just every couple of minutes you go over there and you just give it a little toss, it doesn't stick. And that is exactly, Janet, what I have found. That if I put oil in the water as it's boiling, the sauce has a tendency not to stick as well to whatever pasta I'm using. And so, Janet, I'm glad you said that. Sometimes when I do things, I don't remember why I do things all the time. Or I do it and I think, I'm really going to irritate a whole bunch of people because I do it differently than the way they do it. But you know what? We all do it different ways. Well, let me say this. I have a funny story. So I have a friend and there was some roast something. And every time her mother made a roast, she would cut off one end of it. And so when she got older and she became an adult, she goes to make this roast. Her mom's coming over and she's going to make this roast, right? And I can't remember what kind of roast. And so she chops the ends off because she does. That's the way she's always seen her mother do it. And so she has no idea why. But her mother always did it. So there you go. So her mother comes to eat dinner and she finally says, Mom, I was always curious. I did it just the way you said, but why is it that we cut the end off of the roast? And her mom looked at her and she said, what? She said, well, you always cut the end off of a roast. And she goes, it didn't fit in the pan. So it had nothing to do with a recipe or making it better or it cooked better or anything like that. It had everything to do with her mother had one pan to cook a roast in. And when you bought a certain size, it didn't fit all the way in there. So her mother would cut the end off. How funny is that? All right. Things are boiling over here. I'm going to use my pot holders because I kind of it was warm on my hands. Now, let me ask one other question about the al dente people. Hey, Elise, good to see you. The al dente people. I think there's a fine line between al dente and mush. I'm not really an al dente person. I'm not. I know that makes me bad. I'm not a good chef, which I never claimed to be. But I don't like it mush either. I like, oh, Terry, good to see you. So I go in the middle. Now remember, they didn't have any cilantro at the store, but I want that flavor. So I have these dried cilantro, you know, dried cilantro. I'm just gonna put a little bit, I say, probably about a teaspoon in with the pasta, with the pasta. You know who on TV says it that way. You want it fully cooked. Me too, Lori. Pasta. Okay, so I want to put it in the boiling water, not just in the dish when it's done, because it's dried, and I want it to, you know, plump when you cook it. Now, in addition, because I'm lazy, and I don't want to mess up another pan, here's my frozen veg. And again, I just got broccoli, carrots, water chestnuts, okay? And so, kitchen scissors. I'm gonna go ahead and put my veg in here as well, okay? All right, so everything's in the pot. Gonna give it a stir. Because why should we have two pans going at the same time when everything needs to boil anyway? All right. So back on the stove it goes. I did salt the water in case I didn't mention that. I couldn't remember if I mentioned that I salted or not. All right, and I put in some dry cilantro. If you have fresh cilantro, that would be awesome. Awesome, awesome. I am gonna cut up, you undercook it and finish it in the sauce. Yeah, now see, that's a better way to do it, but I'm not doing it that way today. Different sauces. It just depends what kind of sauce I'm doing. Okay, let me get this. And again, didn't have very many green onions. I mean, that just really bummed me. I can't remember the last time I went to the grocery store and the produce section was basically empty. Have you ever seen that? Like basically empty. Now, I normally do big shopping at Kroger. We have a store called Kroger here. I don't know if you have it where you live. But in Texas, we also have a store called H-E-B, not Heb, H-E-B. I don't add oil and the sauce sticks good to pasta. Joan, you know what? Again, it's whatever works for you. It really is. You watch those cooking shows, and if Bobby Flay or somebody else says he doesn't like mixed veg, he's asking, oh, Christopher, okay, well, what veg does he like? Because you don't have to use a bag of mixed veg. Like, do you like snow peas, the sugar snap peas? You could get the frozen sugar snap peas. You could get a can of water chestnuts. You could get, you could do frozen broccoli. You could do a can of green beans. You could do whatever veg you like. Really, Christopher, you get to eat whatever veg you want on this. Truly, truly. If all you wanted was broccoli, you could get some fresh broccoli and throw it in while the pasta's cooking, and then it'll be the perfect amount done by the time the pasta's done, and that would be it. How cool is that, right? I prefer al dente if I'm gonna have leftovers, but want it cooked if it's eaten that day. Yeah, I agree. I don't like the mush either. All right, and then the last thing, or two last things, remember, our peanut sauce and some peanuts. This should be almost done. Let me give it one more stir. Oh, okay, we're almost there. I'm just bringing it back to a boil. And so you don't have to do this step, but I thought it would be good. I gotta take the blades out. I thought, since this is a peanut thing, it would be nice to have a garnish, but I don't like garnish for garnish's sake. If I'm gonna put stuff on the top, it has to add something, which is why I wanted the cilantro, right? And the green onion. That's the point. But I thought since this is a peanut dish, it would be nice. And again, a crunchy in your mouth. I like different textures. Aw, you're welcome, Christopher. All right, so I just have some regular old peanuts. Found a peanut, found a peanut, found a peanut just now. Did you read along when I did it? Should I do it all? I'll just dump them all in there. Did you sing along? Song from your childhood? Yes. Chicken, sprouts, bamboo, yes. And I'm not adding meat, but you certainly could, right? Okay, so if you have a processor, a food processor, you could do this. And you get to make your choice. Do you want them like little bitty pieces? Do you want some chunks in there? Wholly up to you, what you like. Okay, so in here we've got some full-size peanuts, and we have some that are dust, I tell you. I think I'm gonna put it back in here. Yes, so there are a lot of people that are not jazzy about the whole, I can't have something unless there's meat in there. There's a lot of people that feel that way. Philip's not so bad, but I have a lot of friends whose husbands are like, where's the beef? Or where's the meat? And the nice thing about this recipe is if you have leftover meat, this would be great. Because you could add leftover chicken, or you could make some chicken, or you could use canned chicken, or you could use rotisserie chicken, whatever you got. You know, it looks like I have a ton of gadgets. I really don't have that many, but this is one of my faves. Just because, you know, I can use this on my processor, or I can use this on here, and then you puree the soup. Or I can do, there's one other one, and it's this whisk. Look at that. You can whisk. See? So I do like this. It is one of my, whoops, I dropped something. One of my faves. Okay, so this is garnish. All right, time. It's time. Look, 20 minutes. I could have been done if I wasn't chitty-chatting, but here we go. All right. The pasta is done for me. You cook the pasta how you like it for you. And quite frankly, if you didn't want to use angel hair, if you wanted to do something a little bit more Zaza, you could use like rice noodles. Remember when we went to the Asian market, the Hong Kong market, and we got rice noodles? You could do all that too. This is like my big pasta bowl, You certainly could drain all this and mix everything in your pot. I don't want to drain it because this is a rather thick peanut sauce. And so I may need to thin it out. So anytime you're using a store-bought sauce and you're concerned that it might be too thick, as long as you save some of your pasta water, that'll help thicken it up. Now, all of you know that I am in love with my spider. It just makes it easy to get everything out. I'm getting as much of the water out that will drip down. I'm not too worried. So it's another reason I haven't grabbed the colander and just dumped it all out and then ensured, you know, that it's totally, not dry, but you know what, facial time, right? Yeah. Hoo-ha. Kroger has veggie noodles in a box. I've seen them. I have not tried them. What did I try? I tried the gluten-free, just because, you know, with my psoriasis, you know, there's 100 people that would say that, you know, if you read online, that say that for people with psoriasis or arthritis, if they will cut their gluten, you know, it'll be much better for inflammation and all that. And so I did that. Oh, Kathleen, what's your granddaughter's name so I can say hi? I did it for like 3 months. I didn't see a difference, but you know, it helps a lot of people, so I'm not gonna say anything. All right, so here's my peanut sauce. Do you see how kind of it's thick? Let's pour it on. Look how thick that is. Well, now it's coming out fast, but there we go. All right, so you see, it's thick, and this would probably be okay. Oh my gosh, it smells like peanuts. Oh, okay. The other thing you can obviously do is pour some water in the jar. If you want to get it all out, then put the lid on it, give it a swish, then you'll get it all. I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my ladle. This would probably be okay, but I'm going to get my ladle. Here, maybe I could do this. Let's see if I won't spill. Da, 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 da. It's like the egg challenge, right? So I'm going to put maybe 2 ladles of my pasta liquid. I know you're saying, shouldn't you stir it first? Well, maybe. But it's a lot of pasta in here. Okay, so now at this point, it's just mixed. Leftover broth the other day, added sugar and salt to make a brine. Added cloves and bay leaves and some, oh, come on, some other spices. The chicken was amazing. That sounds fantastic, Terry. Yum. Hannah. Hello, Hannah. Everybody say hi, Hannah. I'm so glad that you've got your granddaughter with you. That's an awesome thing. All right, so now we're just going to mix. Do any of you, I have to ask, one of my favorite like characters, and he is a character, right, is, oh, now I'm going to forget his name. I'm getting so old. I'm getting mental pause. Uncle John? No, that's not it. Uncle, I can't remember. But he goes and he watches all these, mostly a lot of British chefs, right? And look at all that. Look at everybody saying, hi, Hannah. Anyway, Uncle Fred, I can't think of his name. Anyway, so he mostly narrates. Like, so he'll pull these videos, mostly British chefs, mostly UK chefs, right? So he's done Jamie Oliver. But this morning I watched one, and he was kind of making fun of Nigella Lawson. Oh, Lydia, you're not too late. Julie just got here too. We're making a peanut veg and noodle, and it was really easy. And I'll recap till we get there. Anyway, so what is his name? Uncle, I can't think of it. Anyway, just a hilarious guy. And so he's making fun of Nigella Lawson. And so, oh, you just left the dentist office. Yeah. It's on Facebook. He's on there, but I think he's on YouTube as well. Uncle, I can't think of his name. I am going to use this spoon because I need to get some of the sauces on the bottom. I could have used bigger tongs, if you will. Anyway, so this morning he's making, oh good, I'm glad she's smiling. We should always make kids smile. Do you know some of the schools have started today here in Houston? Eek. Doesn't feel like it's that time. But anyway, so he's making fun of Nigella. Now, I love Nigella. I love Uncle Roger. Beverly, that's it. Uncle Roger. Hoo-yah. And so most of the time, he makes fun of these famous chefs that are trying to cook Asian dishes, right? And so I think the most famous one was one that he they were making fried rice, and he was like, "That's not how you make fried rice." No, it's Uncle Roger, and he's hilarious. If you're looking for him, he wears like this orange shirt all the time. I know, it is too hot to start school. Anyway, all right, so there we go with this. Look at that. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put my green onion on top. Dog behind you. Yes, I know, the big one. Snow does definitely want to share. Look how pretty. Anyway, and so this morning, she was making ramen soup, homemade ramen soup. And he really was kind of making fun of her. Yes, he loves to put down Jamie Oliver. He does. but he was really making fun of her measurements, right? A husky amount of something. I mean, you know, like, how cool is that? If I typed up a recipe, right, and put a husky amount of, would you know how much I meant? But it just sounds so cool coming from her. I have always thought that she makes cooking sexy. She does. You know, or sensual. And I don't want to get PG rating or an R rating, but I do. Okay, now you have your options. So this is like to feed your family. All right, look at that. Okay, it's a lot. And then so you obviously could put your peanuts on the top, and it's pretty that way, right? And then everybody gets a little. Ta and da, right? Okay, but then we have to taste. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my pretty bowl that I think matches my mug, even though it doesn't match exactly. It's the same colors. And here we go. I'm gonna use these, and we're gonna get, oh, look. Look. All right. So in my bowl, put that to the side. And then just because it's me, it does look good. The dogs are lurking, I know. Is that lunch and dinner? It certainly could be. It certainly could be, because obviously I've got a ton. The nice thing about this is because it's that peanut sauce, I think it gets better in the refrigerator. And the other great thing about this is you can eat it cold or hot. Hey, Barbara, good to see you. So this can be a cold salad because everything's cooked. The peanut sauce is really good. So I can take it out of the refrigerator tomorrow and have it for lunch cold, or you can stick it in the microwave and eat it that way. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of extra peanut on the top of mine. And then you have your options, right? You can get out your fork, or you can get out your choppies. I just wondered if you cook again for dinner. I'm not, Heather. It depends. Like sometimes when I'm making a recipe, if I make a lot, then like Jess and I'll have it for lunch, and then we'll all have it for dinner. If it's a small thing, like the other day when I made those chicken tenders, those fried chicken tenders, and the artichokes, there basically wasn't anything left for dinner. So, it just depends how much. I had 8, but they were so good. And we kind of went bazonkers on eating. So, anyway, you can eat with your chopsticks. I like this size of a bowl. If you need to hold your bowl, it's got this, it's like a little pedestal. The nice thing about that is when you hold it like this, it doesn't get hot if you eat like this. And otherwise, it's just a pretty. And it's a good shape. Because I think when I'm eating pasta, I like a wider mouthed bowl so I can get it all in. Okay, so here we go. Oh, look at that. But I want the perfect bite, so let me see. Where's the carrot? Come here, little carrot. I'm going to put the carrot there. Oh, look at that. And then we'll get, I'm not very good at this, can you? Can you tell? All right, here we go. So good. Now. So good. If you, Joan, give the peanut sauce a chance. And you know what you can do? Do it for lunch. I want to give you this. Do this. Open up your packages of whatever you're gonna make. And instead of cooking the whole package, literally, just take a little handful of the pasta. And you use a small pan. Put that in there. Put just, a handful of whatever veg you want in there and boil it until everything's done. And then just use a tablespoon of the peanut sauce and a little bit of the pasta water. And then give it a stir and then taste it. And that way, if you don't think the peanut sauce would be for you, you don't have this big thing. Or make it, and if you don't like it, box it up and send it to a friend and say you made it for them. Aloha, Jean. Oh, it's raining in Hawaii. Okay. I love peanut sauce. The other thing is, this is called Bangkok peanut sauce. I don't know if that makes a difference. It says nutty and spicy with garlic, ginger, and lemongrass, which are all things that don't hurt my feelings. If you like things a little spicier, you certainly could add some sriracha to this. This would be good. I would worry if you made this dish and you just added soy sauce. I'm thinking way too salty, but I could be wrong. You know, maybe you could use a teriyaki sauce. But this is one of my faves. And so, like I said, it's really good, hot, room temp, or cold. I can eat it anyway. And again, it's a good way to use up leftovers. If you have leftover chicken, leftover pork, even leftover like fajita meat. I know that the fajita meat, either chicken or beef, has been cooked with fajita seasonings. It's fine. It'll be fine. The Asian part of your dish is not going to be upset with the Mexican part of your dish. I mean, I know that several of you are like, oh, no. It'll be fine. It really will be fine. And that way you get to use some things up. So anyway, that's it for today. That is our whole show. I know, it's very early. It was a very short show. Thursday, we will be late. I have a doctor's appointment at 10 o'clock. So that means I could be here at 11 or I might not. If I'm not here on time, I will do a later show, okay? Kiko Man low sodium, yeah, and I do too. I always buy the low sodium too. I think it's just me, right? And my hands, it doesn't matter if it's low sodium or not. The soy sauce tends to get me. So I use soy sauce very sparingly. Just because of, unless I'm eating sushi. And then when you figure it's just a small thing of soy sauce. But I do use the soy sauce with my sushi. All right, so you guys have an awesome day. Awesome day. And try some peanut. Try some peanut. I think you're gonna really like it. See you Thursday. From Mixing Food Culture. Yes, it is. Mixing Food Cultures is fun. You'll be in Houston next month. Joanne, let me know when and we'll meet for coffee. All right, folks, it's time from my kitchen to your kitchen. May all of your meals be quick, easy, and especially yummy. You guys have an awesome day, and I hope you enjoy your peanut veg noodle. Mwah! Love to you all. Bye, everybody.